You know, Arbor Day is coming up pretty soon, and everybody likes to plant trees. I take a little bit different spin on it here. What I do is rescue trees. I take trees that are doomed to be either bush hogged or growing in places where they won't survive, and then transplant them to somewhere they can be useful. Here we have a hedgerow or a windbreak of cedars that were doomed, and I've planted these over the years, and you see how well they've done. They're different sizes depending on when they were planted. There's a Bradford pear who blew over from the other pear trees and actually just grew there by himself, and I let him, and he's turned out to be quite beautiful. On next to him we have some spruce. These are actually Christmas trees that I had bought live over the years, and after Christmas planted them. I'll show you some more later. Over here we have some white pine that were going to be bush hogged down, and instead I made another little windbreak with them. Come around here, you can get a better look at them. Berry tree that some fellow was cutting down, and I took a couple sprigs from it, rooted them, and it's growing real nice. And I have
This is another cherry tree that was saved, you said?
Yeah, it was made from a cutting where a beautiful tree was taken down because of blocking somebody's view.
This tree that you planted?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And what kind is this one?
It's a magnolia, southern magnolia. Gets real nice, beautiful white flowers on it. I actually bought that one from a nursery, but when I was there, they had one that they were throwing away because it was puny and wasn't making it. So I took it and planted it over here. And as you can see, it's grown 2-3 times better than the nursery bought one.
So much for it being a wimp. It just needed some tender loving care and nurturing.
And a little appreciation. Here's some more Christmas trees that I planted.
That's a huge Christmas tree.
I've probably been there 15 years, I imagine.
Wow. This tree? Is this one that you had in your house?
They were all in the house, yes, at one time.
Wow, okay.
Close up on this tree.
This is the beautiful magnolia that made it. It's thriving. And a pine tree. What kind is this?
This is a Douglas fir. This was also a Christmas tree at one time, and it just really took off.
Wow. So people can take their Christmas trees and
if they
plant
buy them live with the roots on them. It's a lot more work because the trees are very heavy. You got to keep them in buckets of water, so it's not for everybody. But if you love your trees, you can do it.
Wonderful. Now, what is this tree over here with these beautiful blossoms?
That's a tulip tree. It's blossomed early with the break in the weather, the warmer weather. Most of them already been killed by the late cold, but that's a beautiful tree. It'll blossom 3, 4, 5 times a year.
Now, didn't you originally put this here and it was a kind of a barrier for an ugly gas tank that you had?
Yeah,
there,
we used to have a
propane?
propane tank right there, and so I planted it to hide the propane tank, which we don't use anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also done very well.
Beautiful. Okay, so tell me about this tree.
This is a red maple. It was also growing in a very crowded area and was dwarfed. And so we planted it here. It's about 3 years old now, doing really well.
What's the story with this tree?
This is a white pine. It was also growing under its parent tree in a dense area and would never have survived. It was dwarfed at the time. And so we pulled it out. And it's actually, as you see, instead of growing like a pyramid or like a cylinder, it's actually rounded because I guess it was dwarfed so much. But it makes a nice land block and scenery.
Looks like the chickens like it too.
The chickens like it. They for the shade, and it protects them from the hawks.
At your property, it looks like you have a big field and woods behind too. This is just the part that you farm, and I know that you farm on the other side also. But what can you tell me about the woods down there? Because it's beautiful, but I noticed that some of the lumber is cut down. What's going on with that?
Yeah, they do a lot of timbering in this area, all around. I think most of Tennessee actually is quite heavy in lumber and timbering. But actually, they came and they offered quite a nice sum to cut my woods, but they devastate us so badly that I wouldn't let them. The trees are more important to me than the money.
That's wonderful. Well, Farmer Steve, the farmer who loves trees, it sounds like you're also a tree whisperer. Thank you.